Welcome back to Roy and Rescue. It's been a while since my last entry, and I wanted to make sure to get at least one out today, and I hope to get a couple more out really soon. We've got some good questions coming in via email, but we've also had some subjects that have come up that I really want to address. Part of the reason I haven't been able to get a video podcast up and running is because we've been so busy at the Pro Training's offices. We've got a lot of great stuff happening in our UK branch. We've got a really cool program that you'll learn more about through some of the other Pro CPR blogs, Pro Training's blog, and a bunch of releases we're going to be doing about Students Train Free, an exciting program where we're able to offer to school administrations free CPR training to their high school students. Excellent stuff going on about that. We'll tell you more details, and I'll give you some links to be able to check that stuff out. And then also a very exciting thing developing is that we're ready to launch our instructor training and instructor crossover program, which allows other already existing instructors and people who want to become CPR instructors to begin training both in classroom and online for pro trainings. So excellent things coming out. It's really been busy, but it's been great busy. And now I'm happy to be able to bring up this subject that I wanted to sneak in today. Today is about something that I actually experienced Saturday, which was when I took my family out to the lake shore in Lake Michigan on a beautiful Saturday, blue sky, sunny day. It was incredible. We get out to the beach, it's windy, and we notice the DNR whipping past us with their lights on. We thought there maybe was a drowning. What it turned out to be was 4 to 6 foot waves where people were actually being potentially swept off the pier, as well as there being an out current and a riptide. So the red flags were flying, meaning don't swim. The DNR were warning us not to go in past our ankles or knees at the most, and to really watch small children. But even adults are at risk when you have this undertow that goes back out, especially in a condition we were in, which there's a pier about 100 yards to the south of the beach that we were swimming at. It begins to bulk up the water as the waves are crashing in, and that water has to go somewhere. So it either goes to the side or it flows back out. And you tend to see that, and I'm going to describe it here. I tried to capture some video to show you some really great examples. They were the best examples I've seen on Lake Michigan in my whole life. But if I can find some video links on good examples of what I saw out at the beach, I'll try to include those in this video podcast. But so if you picture my knuckles here as being kind of the waves coming in, the out current looks for a spot where it can actually flow back out into the deep water. So as the waves are crashing in, it's got to find some place to let that water flow back out. And that's what creates that undercurrent and that outflow that can sometimes sweep people back out to sea or back out into deeper water. And that was what was potentially going to happen at the beach we were at. Now, several things that you can do to prevent this is, number one, listen to the warnings and heed them. If they say to not go in the water, it's probably a good idea not to go in the water. They're not trying to spoil your fun. They're trying to keep you safe and alive. So we stayed on the beach pretty much. We didn't let the kids in any further than their ankles, knees at the most for the big kids. And we also brought our life jackets. We didn't end up using the life jackets because we didn't let them in the water. But we wanted them to use life jackets anyways, just in case there were invisible or undertides that we couldn't see, even if the waves were moderate. The second thing to do is to make sure to keep a clear head. Even if you are a bystander and you realize somebody is drowning, the temptation to get out there and rescue that drowning victim is so strong, it can sometimes make us do things that could cost us our own life, therefore not being there to rescue, but also causing another tragedy. So it's it's incredibly important to keep a clear head during these emergency situations. It's not a bad idea to look around the beach to see where there might be a throwable life ring so that we can offer that to the drowning victim and activate emergency medical services, the DNR, so they can go out there with the Coast Guard, who are trained and equipped to be able to handle the water rescue, and everybody can be rescued safely. Now, that being said, keep in mind that if one of my children were to go under, I know that I would not think reasonably. I would think out of love and out of fear, because that's my child, that's my spouse, that's my loved one. I would be foolish to think that anybody would not try to rescue a loved one. I'm not talking about that. Love does not need to be reasonable. It can make foolish decisions because love does not need to be reasonable to be love. And we would do heroic things even if it cost our lives. In many cases, we would rather die trying than to see our loved one die without us trying to help. That's why I really think it's vital that we prevent the situation from occurring so that we don't have to put ourselves in that position. But if we are a bystander and we see someone else, a stranger, having trouble, it's going to be important to take a deep breath, think about the situation, really think about scene safety, and objects we could throw out to the victim to help them stay afloat. So I just really wanted to address this. I'm sorry I couldn't get the footage to work. We actually got some, but after I looked at it and reviewed it, it didn't quite show what I was looking for. If I can find some examples of those types of riptides, I will certainly include them in a link on this video podcast. We still have a few days of summer left, and I'm sure that if you live by the ocean or you live by a big lake that has strong waves, we may encounter a few more days of big waves, especially as the fall winds start to come in. So just a thought to be safe and to make that a great experience like we had on Saturday with no traumatic situations and no tragedy. So I look forward to more entries very soon from Roy on Rescue. Keep on rescuing, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.